Welcome to Part 4 of our Fermentation Device Comparison Review series. In this final installment of the series, we will explain the 3 post-fermentation criteria, how each device scored, and then we will declare our winners. Here are the scores at the end of the pre-fermentation and fermentation performance phases. The final criteria, all of which we measure after fermentation is complete, are value, which is the relative cost of each device, the ease of cleaning each device, and the final flavor, as determined by a panel of tasters. To arrive at the scores for value, we looked at the retail price of each of the devices and techniques. The lower the price, the higher the value score. The old school method and the 3-piece airlock were the clear winners in this contest, as they were the least expensive options. There was little to no special equipment required for each of those. When we recalculate the averages, we find that contestants 1 through 4 are in a very close race. Let's look at cleanup for each device. The jar and rate was extremely simple. We'd recommend laundering the cloth after a few uses, as it tends to pick up odors from the ferments. Mason tops was extremely easy, cleaning up with simple soap and water. The pickle pebbles were also easy to clean. Fermentacap was also easy to clean with simple soap and water. We noted that the inner gasket was sort of fragile, so you want to be careful when you're cleaning that. We also noticed that because of the plastic and silicone, it tends to take on some odors of the things that it ferments. Sterilock was really easy to clean. According to their website, you can soak the airlock for 30 minutes in a sanitizing solution. In this case, we just quickly rinsed it. Next was Fermentin. Just pull apart the pieces, dump out any excess water that was in the airlock, and rinse it with soap and water. The ceramic weight has a few nooks that may tend to collect food, so just make sure you rinse that out thoroughly. We found crowdsourced to be more complicated than the others. There are lots of parts. We also found that it's prone to stains and discoloration of the stainless steel. It probably doesn't affect performance, but it's just something to note. We also found that food particles can get trapped in the press. The 3-piece airlock also had several parts, and had some tight spaces, but otherwise it was easy to clean. At the end of the second post-fermentation criterion, ease of cleaning, contestants 1 through 4 are still neck and neck. The final and most fun part was the taste test. Here's how we scored the different batches on flavor. We asked 12 people to taste each of the 7 batches. The tasters were found at the local Fermenters Club chapter, at a local butcher shop, and at a brewery. We asked them to select their 2 favorites and also their least favorite. If it was their least favorite, it scored a 1. If there was no reaction, that is, it was neither their favorite nor their least favorite, it scored a 2. And if it was their favorite, it scored a 3. We then totaled them and translated those totals to the 1 to 5 scale. Here are the results of the flavor test. The 3-piece airlock had the most favorites, with reviewers calling it bright, tangy, and crunchy. Fermentin had the next highest number of favorites. Their fans said it was briny and had a nice crunchy texture. In third place was Fermentacap, which was picklish and had great crunch and acidity. Crowdsourced scored the least favorite by tasters. We believe that due to the drying out and mold issues we experienced, it altered the flavor profile. Reviewers found it had some sweetness, the texture was soggy, and the aromas were described as both mango and funky. We've come to the end of our testing. With all the scores tallied, we are ready to declare our winners. In first place is Mason Tops, with a total average score of 4.37. In second place is Fermentacap, scoring 4.33. And in a tie for third is Sterilock and the old school weight and cloth method. We hope you found this series useful. Now we want to hear from you. Please give us a shout out or a comment. Let us know your experience with any of these devices, or others we haven't reviewed. If you liked the series, please give us a thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel in order to be informed as we release new fermentation-related videos. Thank you, and happy fermenting!